that was winning ugly. We had a that was a good team, and we were a bit flat, and it was inconsistent with the way that we played all year. I think that prior to this game, we played with the thought in mind that it doesn't matter who we're playing, but we're going to play Rutgers basketball. But for whatever reason, we just weren't in tune, and we just never got on track. But thank goodness, Mael, came through, hit a lot of shots, got some outstanding rebounds. But thank goodness. But that's what a team is all about.
Take some questions.
Coach, in the second quarter, you played a lot of younger players. Like Zippy got a lot of time. So what was your thought process behind the younger lineup?
Well, first of all, I no one owns the starting position, and so I was just going to try some other people that could, basically get it done, and that's what it was. I would have done that because we just weren't doing it right at the beginning. So maybe if they sat down a little bit and could watch everybody else play, then you get anxious and you step in and make a difference.
Coach, I don't know if you share this thought. It seemed like the zone gave you fits a little bit, gave the team fits a little bit on the offensive side. The zone that Towson used.
Well, you know
A,
what?
you agree with that? B, if it's true, how do you rectify that?
First of all, we have a lot of patterns that we could run, but we two things. We didn't recognize the zones fast enough, because if we had, we would have called the patterns a little bit quicker. But in the zone, when they come down real quick, so if they played man to man, we would pick that up real quick and then run certain patterns. In that they played zone, then it's a 2-3 or a matchup or whatever. But it took a little more time, and our guards they're having a difficult time. We were throwing the ball away more than anything else. But it wasn't that they were aggressive. It's just that for whatever reason we were out of it. I didn't think anybody other than Mael, other than Taya, played well, but everybody else had struggled big time.
Mael, congratulations on your career high. How do you feel? And what made this game any different than the
Um, I feel good. I mean, 'cause a win is a win, but I know that we can be and do so much better than what presented it on the court, and I think it comes with like just being prideful, like just knowing that we're playing home and we shouldn't be no disrespect to Towson, but we at home and we shouldn't be no we shouldn't let nobody enter like a home and just being like say the captain of the boat, like just we got to be leading on the court. And also what's the other question? The other
what
part.
made this game any different than any other?
Um, what made this game different? I feel like we since this whole practice, this whole week, I didn't feel like something was off during practice the whole week, and I knew it was either gonna show up at the game or it was like a 50% chance that we were gonna either show up or not show up, and I knew it. I felt it. I was like, today is not it, and it was important just to show that how resilient we are, because every game that we've been training or whatever, we always came back and we always shown resilience, and I think today was another example of even if like we were tripping each other, like we still show resilience and finish the game hard.
I think that she's right. I mean, it just felt uncomfortable. I don't know if it's finals time. I don't
It
know
is
what
sure
it
is,
is.
Coach Stringer.
I know. I know. I know. But I don't know if that had the effect. But we were just sluggish right from the beginning. For example, we have a routine that we do all the time in the shooting drill, and I was talking to the coaches because I started to change the routine that we normally do and just have them full court shooting because and the other thing that this is our home, but truth of the matter is that we don't practice here. You know,
Don't.
so no, we don't, and and so it's a much more vast open area. So those of you who shoot know that that's a little different as well. And what I would have liked is to have practiced 2 days, but we couldn't because the wrestling team was in there, and that's the reason why we didn't get in there and have a practice. But nonetheless, I mean, we've got to play no matter what. And Mael's right. We just needed to step it up. But I really felt uncomfortable, very uncomfortable. And so it proved to be true. But we don't feel that anyone can hurt us unless we hurt ourselves, and that is being frustrated and not making the right passes and playing together as a team.
Mael, 13 of your 17 points came in the second half. Something changed for you in the second half?
Coach Stringer. She was literally like she knew it wasn't right. She knew it wasn't us, and I just felt in her like I really want us to win. So I'm gonna just do everything I need to do to win. And as she always asked me, you just do rebound, just be there defensively. And I know this is what energized me. Like I'm not a typical scorer, so I'm gonna have game to game. I'm gonna score, but like I'm not a steady scorer like Orella. So I need to grasp other I need to do other things so for me to be a better player. So I rebound, I play defense, I get some deflection. That's still I need to give other energy to other people so I can after grasp all the energy and just do what I'm supposed to be doing. To be honest, yeah.
Coach, when it comes to Rella, she seemed frustrated today. She still ended up with 17, but didn't shoot well from the field. When it comes to her as a scorer, you've coached a lot of great scorers, obviously. With Rella specifically, can you just talk about coaching her as a scorer and some of the things that you have to use to kind of keep her engaged or keep her disciplined, or some of those things that comes with coaching good scorers?
Yeah, I think that Rella was frustrated. I think that she may have been frustrated with calls, but we know that you just got to get over that. And normally she is, but it bothered her a lot. The same thing with T Baby. She's going to go through changes and indicate that somebody grabbed her hand or whatever. But I mean, you've got to pass that up. And no, I generally would take you out because then hopefully she'll recover, get herself together, have an opportunity to sit there, and then step back in. But I think that it was just frustrating for her the whole day, and it was frustrating for everybody the whole day. Like I said, the only thing is, really, there was a lot of shots that T Baby missed. But let's give credit to Towson. They were long, they were athletic. They they got people that can knock shots down, and I'm glad that we ran into them because I thought that they were going to pose a question. And my biggest issue today would have been when we handle the ball, when we were on defense. Anytime that they're in a wing, they attack and they get to the rim. Period. They attack and they get to the rim. And normally you can cut them off, because we do understand how to cut them off. And if the defense that's backing up, because we knew that we could foul out real quick if we are attacking, trying to play defense on a person that was on a wing. But then we were saying, okay, let the person go. If you stayed with them with 2 or 3 steps, and you let it go. There's no point in fouling because once you're behind, you're behind. But then we're counting on what we talk about is, we're talking about triangle defense, and who needs to step up to stop that drive outside the lane. But even as we were trying to do that, we were a split second late. It was too late that we were coming, and so we didn't react nearly as quick as we hit. So it more was a case where we all were a little sluggish and not just in tune, but it was not because they were sluggish. That team is good, and we recognize that. I think that the team saw them play last year, and they were playing Connecticut, right, first round. Yeah, and they were good athletes. So it was a difference. Although, would you say that the team that we played this past year was as good, Georgia Tech?
Yes, Georgia Tech was kind of similar. Like they really in the gaps. They here defensively. They were long and they weren't letting things go as easy for us. And I think that was the same thing for Towson. Like they were in the gaps all the time. Like it was just it really only came down to us not doing details. So like just fixing a cut, so like just going down the key and make sure like you basically close the door. Like just it was literally like the little details that make us trip each other. So yeah.
Anything from Ralph, Mel?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, because you hit it before me about finals and all, like, at least I've seen over the years that the swing between Thanksgiving around there until you get to the other side toward Christmas is always like, seems to be an uneven rhythm. Where once you hit the Big Ten, it's sort of like bang, 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 between start of Big Ten until you get to the tournament. So I was gonna say, how much does, I'm not up here as much, but I mean, in terms of your schedule there, might contribute to just the pace of the schedule, this time of year with finals and everything else going on.
Wait, is that a question?
Yeah, are you asking that because because we recognize that we're in finals, and they're stressed. But I don't know if the other team is or not. But you're right. There's a difference in maybe the sleep patterns. Did you get enough rest? Are we prepared enough? And generally, you don't have the toughest games that time. But certainly after that, we're into the Big Ten season. So we've got to be sharp, but I would trust that we're rested then, and it can focus up. We were disappointed with the way we played today, because we can play much better, but it's things within ourselves, and we always use the phrase, "Do not let straws trip us," and if you can understand, only the straws will trip you. And that's what we can't afford to do. So the tougher things get, the better we need to be, and the more resilient that we need to be. But you're right. You're right. I was saying to the team, this is the first time that I was disappointed with that we won, yes, but disappointed that the way that we played, because heretofore we really haven't demonstrated any weakness in anything that we do. We sort of always bounce back, but we were all struggling in a big way. So let's say that we all struggled together, and we're all right now.